Hello. Hello. I'm here. I made it. I'm here. I made it. Let me make sure I'm actually here and that I actually made it. Oh, yeah. I am. I'm actually here and I actually made it. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Make sure I got stuff set up so I can see everybody. Hi, Tarot Gothams. Thanks for being here. Yes, I'm here. I made it. I hope everyone's had a good week. January is going so fast. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how fast January is going. Hi, Judy. Thanks for being here. Hi, Rumble. Thanks for being here. Oh, yeah. It is Friday. We made it to Friday. Thank goodness. Woo-wee. But I don't know why I say that because it wasn't like it was a hard week. It actually went really fast. Like January is in general is moving pretty quickly, like kind of scary quickly, but I guess that's what we got well, at least I got used to saying is like thank goodness it's Friday. But I don't think it matters anymore. All these days are seeping together and feeling the same. Might just be me. Uh, oh, good. I'm glad you had a great week. Good, good, good. All right, I'm gonna start putting our list. Um, I think I'm gonna keep our list to two, maybe three things. Um, because I know tomorrow when we start going over hip hop stuff, we have a lot to go over tomorrow. So, um, I want to save as much of my energy as possible for tomorrow because that'll probably be a longer time together. Um, so the only thing I have is I do want to talk about the new moon that we have coming up on the 18th, which is Sunday. Sunday 18th. Because it's the first new moon of this year. So it'll be important for us to just be ready for that. Get this year started off well. And then, do we have any numbers or dates that we want to make sure to hit today? I think, yeah, I think two or three would probably be good. We'll see. All right, what you guys talking about in the chat? I'm glad you had a good week, Tarot Gothis. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Oh, your dad's birthday is on Sunday on the new moon. Yeah, you were born under a new moon. Oh, that's extra special. Oh, that's super special. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the new moon. Oh, okay. Yes. So we'll have um I'll put Judy's numbers here um as number 2. What? Why did I do that apostrophe like that? That was weird. That was weird. Okay. So then we'll look at Judy's numbers. Cool. So we had quite a few things happening in the last couple weeks, especially like astrologically. Um and we had like the Kilauea volcano eruption on like the 12th. And we've been, well, I should say because I don't know if you have the same like notifications that I have, because I'd be doing nerdy stuff. But I've been getting notifications of solar solar flares this week too. So we've had some interesting energies and vibrations coming through. All right, so let's go ahead. Hey, Josh, thanks for being here. It's good to see you. I know Josh is gonna have a list tomorrow. Josh's list tomorrow is gonna be a list because we've had so much happening in hip hop this week. All right. Well, we'll leave the list at this right now. And wait for Judy's numbers. And then if there's any other numbers, we can maybe add one more on the list. We'll see. We'll see, because I definitely want to make sure I have energy for tomorrow, because there's been a lot of happenings and new music and new albums that have come out this week in hip hop. So I want to make sure I have the energy for all of that tomorrow. But let's talk about this new moon that's coming up on Sunday. So Sunday, January 18th, we have the first new moon of this year. And oh my gosh, there's seriously this little fly that's like circling my mic, and I'm trying to ignore it, but it's actually really bothering me. I'm gonna try and get it. So excuse my clapping while I try and get the little, like a little gnat or something. And I hope it's really there and I'm not seeing things, but okay, now I don't see it. It must have landed somewhere. All right, hopefully it leaves me alone. All right, so before we talk about this new moon specifically, we need to be reminded that the new moon is a time. Oh, thanks, Josh. Yeah, just shoot away. Shoot fly, don't bother me. Shoot fly, don't bother me. That the new moon is when we set intentions or goals. It's the time of like planting. So we think about it as like a time of planting seeds that we want to grow. And for anyone that hasn't been here before, hasn't heard me say it before, but it's always a good reminder. I like to go off of the 4 moon cycle with my goals, just because it gives me more time. Hi, cousin B. Thanks for being here. Hi. So typically when people talk about like new moon to full moon, they're talking about in the same month. And a lot of time that's just like 2 weeks in between there. And I myself, with my Capricorn mind, like to have big ambitious goals. And so I like having more time to really get those goals and like the tasks and the subtasks in. I like thinking about it as a longer cycle, for some bigger intentions and some bigger goals. Um, so 2 weeks is just not enough. So I like to use this cycle where we have the new moon. And the new moon is where we, again, this is where we're planting the seeds. And then the opposite of the new moon is the full moon. But in this cycle, once we get to the full moon, this is where we actually have like illumination. It's where we can see what's actually growing. And so we can make pivots or changes as needed. And in between here, we have the other two opposites, which are the first quarter moon and this is about taking action. And then the opposite of this is the last or the third quarter moon. And it's actually, this is where we have the completion or like the harvest. And so for this cycle, it's a 2.5 year, about 2.5 year cycle. And it gives us 9 months for each of these energies. So, yes, the new moon will be on Sunday, but that's when it starts this part of the cycle. So we have, that's will be when it's at its peak. It is the strongest, best time to like start planning those intentions and those goals. But we really have like 9 months to really decide what we're planting, how we want to plan it, and what those goals really are. Hi, Tiff Tiff. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. So the new moon is where we're planting the seeds, but then we have 9 months to really make some good decisions about what it is we're planting, what are the specifics of the goals. So this is like our planning period. And then we get to this first quarter moon where we can start taking action. So we have 9 months to be able to really go through this planning period and plant those seeds and set those goals. Oh, good, Tiff Tiff. I'm glad that you made it home safely. That sounds like a fun trip. And then when we have this action that comes up at the first quarter moon, again, this is where we are taking action, but this is also a time of trial and error where we can try different things. So we can see, is this the right action or is that the right action? It gives us time to be able to try different things of like, or also like start on multiple paths. Because I don't know about you, but I like to have like plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. I like to have all of the plans, all of the paths open. And so this is a time in these 9 months is a time where we can really decide which actions are most important. Oh yeah. Telling procrastinators they have 9 months, but it's okay. We're going to tell procrastinators, if you are a procrastinator, you only have the 2 week period. So you only have from the new moon to the full moon in 1 month period. That's the procrastinator time. Oh, that's pretty funny. So then yeah, from first quarter to full is trial and error, trying some different actions, really cuz you did all the planning over here. So now you can really just take action how you want to and like really see what's going to work and what's going to be most helpful. Oh, Rumble, if you start calling out the procrastinators, we're all in trouble. Because I know I'm on that list. So then, this full moon time, this is when we get to start seeing, was our planning good? And were the actions we took actually taking us on the right route? Are they actually taking us the direction that we want to go to be able to get to those intentions or those goals? And so this is where we are able to like make a pivot. So if we have taken an action that is not taking us where we want to go, or we've missed something that we actually need to be doing, during this full moon period is when we are able to make those changes, because this is also when we see things much clearer. So this is when you get some clarity on what your goals and intentions actually are. This is when you're fine tuning them. Oh, I already know I was next. I'm like the queen of procrastination. Oh, it's funny and terrible at the same time. Oh, I'll go back and look. I'll see if I can see all the numbers and we'll write them down, Judy. Um, and then when we get to the last quarter moon, this is when you're bringing stuff to a completion. So, whatever needs to be done to bring those goals and the intentions to a completion, even if it's like, all right, this is not, it's been this 2.5 year period, it's not to the point where it's fully complete, but let's get to a stopping point, and then in this next 2.5 year cycle, we'll be able to get more going. And so this is another 9 months here. So we just need to remember that that's the cycle that we're looking at when we're talking about this new moon that's coming up on Sunday. We also have to remember, I'll say this and then I'll catch up in chat, that there are a lot of cycles going on at the same time. So every single month has one of these types of moons. It has all four of these moons, but each one of them is a part of a different 2.5 year cycle. So we basically have four cycles or four parts of a cycle that are going on, like four different cycles in a month. So it's kind of like, like how you see the Olympic rings. So in a month, we could have like these four different cycles. And then we could also have, because all of the planetary alignments are on a cycle, we know that time and the vibrations that travel through time are on a cycle. And so we can have these additional cycles that are happening in a month also. And so, like this. So, what we want to pay attention to is that we have these multiple cycles happening, but we want to pay close attention to wherever these cycles are overlapping. So, like here, where it's these three different cycles that are kind of overlapping together. And here, where it's these three cycles overlapping together. Because these are like these big, huge, pivotal vibrational points that like a lot of energy is coming into that space, a lot of big things happen. And so when I was talking last week, was that last week? I think it was last week. Last week? Yeah, last week. Last week when I was talking about like the planetary alignments, um, where we had like all the planets lined up in a row and we looked at those, um, that would be like considered one of these intersection points, one of these points where multiple cycles are happening at the same time, because it's like each one of these planets has its own cycle that it's doing. And so this also are these cycles that could be interacting and overlapping. Okay, I'm going to catch up in chat and get some water, and then we'll talk about the new moon in particular. Oh, and I'll see if I see your numbers, Judy. I'll write them down on our list. Okay. Talking about serious siblings. I think my siblings might think that's me, which I think is funny. Mm, okay, Judy, I'm seeing 39, 243, 990, no, 9,097, and 353, and 201. So let me know if that's actually the numbers. I'm going to write them down right now. Now I lost them again. Oh no, there they are. 39, 243, 9,097, and 353. Okay. You let me know if any of those need to be changed. Okay. Let me keep going in the chat. Make sure I'm caught up. Yeah, I saw the procrastination point. It's being reiterated again as I'm reading it again. Oh, funny. That's funny. The master procrastinator. We might have to fight over that one. We might have to fight over that title. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but still. All right. I see a question. Can you explain why people either gain a lot of energy or become fatigued during a full or new moon? Uh huh. Yeah, you get super drained during. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yo, no, that's actually a really good question. So, we've talked about this before, but it's definitely worth repeating. And so if we think about this moon cycle that we have, we actually need to use the 8 moon cycle. So we have our new moon, our full moon, we have our first quarter moon, and we have our last quarter moon. And then we have, and I can never remember, I think this is balsamic here. I think the opposite of balsamic is gibbous. Uh, I think this is waning or waxing, but there's two others there. I can't ever remember. Crescent. That's gonna drive me nuts. I don't think I have my paper here, but anyway. So we have this moon cycle where there's 8 different points here, and as we go around, so this is the darkest moon, which is like the least amount of light. So that means that just like how your eyes, if you're in a dark room, they have to be really open and dilated to be able to take in the light that you need to be able to see. It just means you have to put more energy in to be able to get things done. You move a little bit slower in the way you like to do things. And it's because there's less of that light coming in, and so it moves slower. But then a full moon is the brightest. This is like all light. This is very fast moving. So where this is like the slowest moving energy, this is the fastest moving energy. All right, let me move this over so you can see all these different parts and pieces. And so then when we're going from new moon to full moon, this is where the energy is getting faster. And then when we're going from full moon to a new moon, this is where the energy is getting slower. And neither one is like better or worse, it's just different. So just thinking about like different rivers can move at different paces. Um and if there's a storm, then it can move faster, or it can, if it's a drought, it can move slower. Kind of the same thing, like it's still a river. Like how fast or slow it is doesn't matter, it's still what it is. And so what happens is we have, this is where we have one of those overlap of cycles. So when you're born, so for you, Rumpel, where you're born under this new moon, so this is like your natal moon or your birth moon. That means that you would prefer for the energy to move slower. That's the type of energy you like to work with. A lot of times people that are born under these slower moons like to take time to think and process. They, are a little bit like take in more information to be able to make decisions. So this is the slower, that's more contemplative. You're really contemplating a lot more. Oh, hi, Tiptoe Joe. Thanks for being here. So if your natal moon is over here where it's slower, when the actual moon in the month So when we have like the monthly moon is the full moon, the energy feels way too fast. So it feels too fast. It feels like you're being forced to move too fast. Hey, Eva! Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Yeah, you got busted, Tiptoe Joe. You should have known that was going to happen. So that's what's happening. So, um, then the opposite is true for somebody. Like if somebody was born under a full moon, um then when we start getting into each uh part of the month where it's these slower moving energies, they can feel like, oh, things are moving too slow. It's like moving through sludge, and they really don't like it. um and but this is, it's all part of recognizing how the energy around us is moving and how our energy moves, so then we're able to start regulating ourselves. So you would know, all right, I'm born under a new moon where I prefer things to move slower, but there's always going to be a full moon every single month. So when that full moon comes around, what can I do to help myself not feel rushed? Not like a lot of times people that are born under a slower moon, especially like this last quarter, balsamic and new, because these are like the three slowest moons. These are a lot of times are the people that get anxiety during these faster moon movements. So does that answer your question, Rumpel? Let me know. And let me know if there's other questions. I'm going to go up and make sure I answered the question and see what else I may have missed. And then I'll come down and get your response or if there's other questions. Yeah, that's interesting, Judy. Yeah, like it is one of those like Rumpel said, like having the winners or the world record broken from a particular lane, like in track and field or even like swimming. um it is very random and consequential, but it's just like you catching on the clock a certain time or catching like an angel number on a license plate. Like it's big and noticeable for you to be able to pay attention to. So it's getting your attention. Because all of those things are like random. Um but it's when we recognize them and start paying attention to what are the patterns that we're seeing that we can better understand what the messages are that are coming through for us. Yeah, and there are good lanes cuz like when um like you're ranked, you're given different lanes, but it's more for your rankings, but a lot of times it's random. The I think the only ones that um they're, so if it's a sprint where everybody's starting at the same spot, then it's usually random what lane you get. But if it's one where it's staggered because it's a longer race, then that's based on ranking. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff too. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, okay. All right. All right. All right. Tiptoe. You weren't quiet enough. Stop it, trouble. You called the full moon an extroverted narcissist. Oh man, that's actually funny. But the other thing you can think about is where the moon and the sun are placed for each of these. So for the new moon, so when we're in a new moon, the sun and the moon, so if this is our moon and the sun, they're like right together. They're exactly together. And so it's the, that energy can move actually really slow because it doesn't take a long time for the light of the sun to actually get to the moon. But then on the opposite side, where we have the full moon, they are the farthest away from each other that they possibly could be. And so now it's this farther distance away. So it has to move faster to be able to get there. So that's another way of thinking about it. But that's actually pretty hilarious. Extroverted narcissist. Oh man, that's terrible. Not any research I've seen backing that up, but it's funny to think about. Okay, so then I have Judy asking about how do you figure out what moon you have at birth. Yeah, that's a good question too. So, um the easiest way is that when you actually get your birth chart, usually most of those programs will tell you what your natal moon is. But also the way that like astrologists calculate it is how far apart are they. So the closer they are, the closer you are to a new moon. So, like, if we think about our moon cycle again, where this is the new moon and this is the full moon, and this is like, say, this is our birth chart. If you look at your birth chart and you find your sun and your moon, if your moon and your sun are like right next to each other, then you're born under a new moon. So you look for where your sun and your moon are. I didn't mean to like write these on here. Let's do this. So look at your birth chart, find your sun and your moon. If your sun and moon are super close to each other, then you're either a balsamic or a new moon. And these are like the extremes. If your moons and your sun are directly opposite each other, like they're the farthest away from each other that could be possible, then that's a full moon. So, like, this is a new moon and this is a full moon. And then you can see, like, here, we'll do this. Then, like, the last quarter. So, where we have the last quarter moon, we would have like the sun here, and the moon is moving towards the sun to get to the new moon. And then the first quarter moon, if we have the sun here, then the moon is here, like moving away from the sun. So it's getting closer to being opposite of the full moon. Okay. So, like, there's a whole calculation for it. We could probably do that sometime. But really the easiest way is to just, usually in the report you get on your with your birth chart, it'll tell you what your natal moon is. Oh my gosh, you all are funny. All right, let's see. Okay, good. I'm glad that answered it. Yeah, I always forget. I think waxing means that it's waxing is letting more light in, I think. Cuz there's waxing and waning and I always get them confused. But it's one of these. It's either here um either here or here, I think. Oh no, no, no. It would be waxing and waning are, I don't know. I'll look it up and then I'll bring it and we'll look for sure. Because I don't want to keep guessing and then say all kinds of crazy stuff and get us all confused. But we could definitely look at that more. Like when we talked a couple weeks ago about hip hop's progressed moon, and we talked about the moons. This was part of it. This was, so you can actually go back and look at that recording too, because that'll have some good information in it also. But we could definitely talk about it again because it's important. Like knowing what moon you were born under is another really important vibration to know. It's how you move through life, it's how you get things done, it's how you use your energy. You all are funny. Oh my gosh, here goes Rumple and Josh. I love it. I think it's funny. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Rumple, for looking that up. So, yeah. So, waxing is when it's starting to get brighter. Yeah. So, this is waxing. This is gibbous. And then that means when it's from the full moon and it's starting to get darker, that's waning. And then this is balsamic. Okay, great. Thanks, Rumple. So that means for you, Tiptoe Joe, if you were born under a waxing moon, that you prefer energy that's a little bit slower but is speeding up. It's starting to like accelerate. Oh, you did look it up. You looked it up in your brain, didn't you? We know you got lots of stuff in that big old brain of yours. So thank you for looking it up in your brain. Oh, okay. So Tiptoe knows. Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh my goodness. You all are hilarious. Okay, okay, okay. Let me get out of the chat. Let me get out of the chat because you all crack me up and I can just stay there all day. Oh. But we need to talk about this new moon that's happening on Sunday. Where's what? Oh, here you go. So this new moon that's happening on Sunday is part of this 2.5 year cycle, and it's all about starting this planning period and planting seeds. So the new moon, so we have the new moon on January 18th. So the planting of seeds. And then let me get my paper because I wrote it down to make sure I got it right. And this is actually in Capricorn. And also in Capricorn right now, let me see if I actually have our let me see if I have the chart up so you can actually look at it. Oh yeah, here. I have it up, but it's going to be hard to see. So let me try and copy it, and I'll put it over into, let me just go ahead and get the 18th. Oh, here. I forgot. You guys can watch what I'm doing. So I just got Sunday, January 18th here in our little chart, like our astrology for today. And here's Capricorn. Capricorn is where all of these planets are sitting together. So let me get a copy of this real quick and I'll bring it over for us to look at. See, I need transition music. But it shouldn't sound like that. It should sound better. I need somebody to make me better transition music. Because I like having transition music, but I can't make transition music. It's not cute. My transmission, well, it probably is pretty cute, but it's because it's weird. Okay. Fly like an eagle. Why is that song in my head? Who knows? All right, here we go. I think I got it now. Now I just gotta find. Oh, here we go. I found us. All right, so this is our astrological chart for Sunday. And so this new moon, and we just saw that new moon is when the sun and the moon are in the same position together. And so here's our moon. I didn't get the right time because it'll happen a little bit later in the day. But there's the moon, and then the sun is in here as part of this big old mix. And in this mix, we have Mercury, Mars, the sun, and Venus, I think, just moved out. So in Capricorn, we will have the moon, Mercury, Mars, and the sun. And then right next to them, where they still are highly interactive together, we have Pluto and Venus here in Aquarius. So we have these, when these planets like bunch up this way, that's a lot of energy interacting with each other. This is like when you have a big, huge planning meeting of all the big bosses. This is like what we see in the Godfather movies, where it's like all the heads of the family are coming together. There's something happening when this is happening. So it's important to recognize that this new moon, yes, it's a new moon in Capricorn, but there's also all these other energies that are here that are influencing the seeds that we're planting. And so those seeds that we're planting here at the new moon, it's like they have extra fertilizer right now, especially because we are in this 2026 energy, which is our 10 and then our 1 with all this new energy. So the intentions, the goals we set, the seeds that we plant on Sunday, this is why I wanted to bring this up, are they have lots of fertilizer. It's like they don't just have what they need. Like they've got some kind of crazy I don't want to say it like it's something bad, but like they've got some crazy fertilizer here that's gonna help them grow. Like they have extremely fertile ground. So you think about a place where it's very fertile ground where everything grows and grows really well and grows very quickly. That's what this new moon is. So we really need to take advantage. We really need to make sure that we are planting seeds, thinking about intentions and our goals for the next 2.5 years, especially in Capricorn, where Capricorn is about like your structure of things. It's also wherever you're most ambitious. So think about your goals, your most ambitious goals. These are the goals you want to be planting and planning during this new moon cycle. And they can happen very quickly. Like if you want to change your career, because Capricorn also is about career and profession. So if you want to change your career, that can happen very quickly, just by making those intentions set and planning those goals here. So we have that on the 18th. And then the first quarter moon for this cycle is in October. So October 18th, 2026. So this is when you start taking action on your plans. Is here. And then the full moon will be, this is actually an eclipse. It's July 18th, 2027. And this is an eclipse, which adds additional energy to the space. So not only do we have what is called a stellium here in Capricorn with all of those planets there together, but then when we get to this full moon time, where this is illumination and pivoting, it's going to be an eclipse time. So we'll have additional energy there also. And then this cycle will come to an end with this last quarter moon. And it's going to be April 16th, 2028. So on Sunday, or beginning on Sunday, when you're thinking about What are the goals that you want to set around career, profession, or your structure of how you do things? What are your foundation of things? Really, your most ambitious goals. Um, think about that this is going all the way here until April 2028 and even farther than this because you have 9 months after this. So you have 9 months of this last quarter moon time to bring to a completion. So these can be extremely ambitious. That's why I like this 2.5 year cycle because these can be really ambitious. They can be really big. They can have lots of steps, lots of parts and pieces that need to come together. It can include people that you may not know yet, but you want to or need to know to be able to reach those goals. Okay, I think. Let me know if you have any questions. And we can go back over here. Josh, you're not wrong. And I think the seventh already passed. I think that's the seventh every year. Uh, so he has till the seventh this year, and next year, and the year after that. Oh, that moved really quick. Okay, so that's the new moon stuff. I don't think, I mean, that's a lot of new energy. That's very fertile ground, Rumple, but I don't know that you need all that energy to harass Josh more. I think that's just going to happen naturally because having that new moon energy means that your harassment is a slow burn. Lots of new ideas to slowly burn. Yeah, you're not wrong, Josh. There's not much more power that's needed there. Judy, are these your numbers? Yeah. Yep. 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 That's how your energy works, Rumple. It's torturous. I love it though. Well, part of that is because I was born under a last quarter moon. Um, and so I'm part of those three slowest moons as well. So yeah, give me the slow, give me that time to like process and think and add to. That could be dangerous. Okay. So we've gotten, these are Judy's numbers. Let's see if I can grab them. You know, sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. I'm gonna try. Try and grab them. Let me just do this whole thing. Ooh, looky there. Let's go. Oh, I like this. It's like we're flying. Woo! Oh, this is fun. Oh, the joy of little things. That was fun. I liked that. All right. Let's see. What do we have going on here? So we do have this one portal number here, but that's not feeling like the significant thing. So let's do this. So 39 gives us a 12 that goes to a 3. 243 is going to a 9. Yeah, because this is feeling like it's pieces and parts of a bigger story. Time traveling. Oh yeah, I like that even better, Rumple. 18 speed what? 25? 26? Let me get my calculator. No, 25 was right. Let me just second guess myself. And then 7. And this is 11 to 2. Yep, there's some patterns emerging. Let's add these together. Do you have any more context, Judy, that you want me to make sure to include? Thanks, Rumple. Yeah, I need that reminder more than anybody. Yeah, I got to make sure to save my energy for tomorrow, because I know we have a ton to talk about tomorrow. Thank you. Let's look. 97. I think I'm going to split this. Yeah. So this one I'm splitting. So I'm putting a plus in here. Yeah, I saw that, Tip Tip. I was wondering what you were going to feel about that. So 39 plus 243 plus this is feeling like 90 and 97 and then 353. Oh yeah, it's a countdown. Tip Tip's birthday. 822. So, what's standing out to me are these threes. Yeah, that's what's standing out. The threes and the nines a little bit, but really the threes. So, three is all about that growth, but making sure that you remember that those vibrations are neutral. So, that is growth in any direction, like in the direction you want to be going, but it could also be growth in the direction that you don't want to be going. So, you have to pay very close attention to it. But what I'm seeing is that we have four of these threes. And then this 822 is also taking us to 12, 3. So it's not just growth, but it's growth from this change in perspective. Now this feels like a message for you, Judy, but also there's somebody here. There's multiple people here that this message is for, but there's somebody here where this is very specific to you. So I just want to say that because it feels like it's really important for multiple people, but for one particular person, it's extremely important to get this message where there's something that has occurred recently. And when I say recently, I mean like in, it feels like less than 10 days. So a little bit more than a week and a half. But there's something that has happened that you have not experienced before. But it has happened to try and get you to change your perspective. It's like what it looks like is like you've taken an elevator, but you're still trying to see the world from the ground. So just think about that. Like if you are on the ground level and you're looking around at the world around you, that's one perspective. But if you are taken up on this elevator, even if you're only taken up like 3 stories or 5 stories, but this doesn't feel like that. It feels like this is a really big event that is very much changing how you're seeing the world. It's changing, and you're having to think a lot about how you're thinking. Why are you thinking that way? Why are you behaving the way that you are? And for some people where this is an important message, but not for this one, it could just be one of these. It's like, oh, it's this event that's just changing one thing that you're thinking about, or one particular behavior, or one particular habit. But there is one person where it's like changing everything. Like it's completely changing, like this event um has taken you so far up on this elevator. It's like you went from the ground to the 32nd floor. And it's interesting that I say 32nd. So that might be a significant number or vibration for this person where it's really important. Um like the whole world looks different. Like whatever this significant event, and it does very much feel like an event, like something happened where it is very much changing how you're thinking, how you're seeing the world, how you're interacting with people. Like it feels like like your whole world is changing. But I want to reassure you. So this one person, but also for everybody where this is significant, and not just this time, but any time when you have a change in perspective where you get some information or an event or something happens where it changes how you see yourself or somebody else or the world around you, um it's not changing you. So you're still the core of who you are. It's just changing your perspective. And remember that the more perspectives that we have, the closer we actually are getting to the truth of things. So it's a very good thing. It whenever you have this change of perspective, it will feel uncomfortable. It will. But in our uncomfortable state, that's where you grow the most. So if you're in a state of growth, so anybody and everybody where you had some kind of event, something happening, and it can be not just this time, but any time, you are being pushed into this state of growth. You make the most growth when you are uncomfortable. This is why, like in um any of these like spiritual texts, religious texts, self-help learning stuff, they will say that the person that has the hardest time to grow and change is somebody that's comfortable. So like think about how like in the Bible it says that the person that has the hardest time getting to heaven is the rich man. Why? Because he's so rich, he's comfortable. And he's so comfortable that he doesn't feel like he has to change his thoughts and behaviors. He doesn't have to put himself in an uncomfortable position where he would actually grow. This also is yes, Judy, I see that. Yeah, 32. Yep, another 5 for you. Another 5. But with the 3 there in that second position. This also does relate to last week, and I did clip it and make it its own video, so you should have seen that or at least have access to it, where I talked about the vibration of 3. So last week, this vibration of 3 was coming out very, very strongly. This is part of that. Yeah, because there's definitely something that is happening around not just growth, but the changing of perspectives. The way that we see the world is we must allow this change to happen. We have to see things differently so we can begin to think differently and behave differently because what's being ushered in, the new that is coming in, especially in this year, requires us to think and behave differently. We cannot think and behave the same way um, if we want to allow new to be able to come in and new things to happen. Yes, Josh, LTFM and those threes. Now is the time. Those threes are going to be powerful. Feels like for at least this first quarter, so through March, if not through the whole year, because it is building up in pace. That vibration of three. Cool. Okay, 5 more minutes. Oh, but yes. So it's interesting that you say that, Rumple, because 133 is the numerical vibration of the word community. And so the contributions that we each have as part of the community, as part of the family, are very important. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to stop there for now, or I'm gonna go on a whole tangent and we'll be way past the 5 minute mark. But I think, Judy, thank you for bringing in these numbers, because it is showing how this vibration of three is still very much um, building up and is very strong and very important. And that is part of your contribution to this whole community. Like, you're part of the growth of this community. You are that three. So I know you get stuck on five. That's you. That's your own little world of the 5 minutes. 5 minutes, the five in your life of change that's happening in your life. But as part of this community, you're very much part of the growth and the steadiness of the foundation, where growth can happen, but in a way that is very strong. Oh yeah, the wheel is tomorrow. Everybody loves that wheel. Mm. 23 is a very interesting number, Tiff Tiff. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that be part of tomorrow, for our hip hop talk, because 23 is going to come up there also. But 23 is all about, just to give you in general, growing. So it's growing into a space or big enough where you no longer have division. And by growing into the space, so you end division, now this is a big, huge change that happens. 23 is also the numerical vibration of I am. And I have several videos on I am, where this year, like actually for the next 3 years now, because it was like 4 years starting in 2025, it's going to be really important to look at your identity. So begin to understand your I am. So there's a little mini breakdown for you, but we'll talk about 23 again tomorrow, because I know it's going to come up. I already see it. Okay, but speaking of tomorrow, I did say I was going to try and end earlier today so I can have energy for tomorrow because we have a ton of things tomorrow. Where tomorrow on Saturday is where we are looking at the vibrations of the week, but we're looking at it through hip hop. So we're looking at the events of hip hop to really examine the vibrations of the week. So come back tomorrow and bring your whole list of hip hop events. What are all the happenings that have happened this week? What are some of the numbers and vibrations that are part of it? Yeah, it'll be a good one. Alrighty. I'll see you tomorrow. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, please hit it on your way out. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you all. It's been wonderful. I'm going to go eat and get some rest, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody.